So that's really a personal preference.
It is. It is. We, as I said, as a first aid instructor, like, you know, the only thing I can tell you is try your best to help somebody, okay? But remember what I told you. We are the first priority. So you try your best to help somebody, and if you don't feel safe giving mouth to mouth, just don't give mouth to mouth. In fact, I always tell my students, by you just calling 911, you already helped.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you don't feel like even doing the chest compressions, you don't want to get involved because maybe you're scared of a lawsuit, maybe you're scared of making things worse, just call 911, you've done your job.
Stay with the person and kind of still, you can still do your.
Absolutely. If you totally feel like if you want to, absolutely. Absolutely. Do whatever you can do to help the person. But if you don't feel comfortable by you just calling 911, you already done your job.
Can I ask you a question though?
Yes.
Okay, I'm down here and I'm doing my, 30 compressions, whatever.
Yep.
And I tilt the head back and I hold the nose. Now, blowing in, would not this be sufficient?
No.
Wouldn't the air still get in without being close around the whole mouth? At least something, as opposed to nothing?
No. Okay, so.
You have to put the
Try
pressure
to-
in.
You're
try to
telling
blow-
me you don't
try to
even,
fill air in
you
the
don't
balloon,
even touch.
like this.
True, yeah,
Pressure.
true.
Try to inflate the balloon like
Well, I
this.
just thought a little bit of air than no air might help.
Plus,
Very, very good.
sternum, lungs, they need a lot more
Yeah,
infusion. Like, I don't know how much PSI, but a lot more.
yeah.
Not
So-
like this.
So Donna,
Mm.
here's the thing, okay? If you don't put your mouth and put a seal,
Right.
yeah,
I
it's
get
just
it.
not, it's not gonna
Yeah.
work.
I just thought maybe a little tiny bit of air would be better than no air.
Yeah,
But I understand what you
mean.
mean, yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying because a lot of people
I-
won't do the
I-
mouth to mouth, would a little bit of air maybe help, like, but it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah, but it's not, yeah, that's probably seal.
I get you gotta be sealed, yeah.
Yeah.
But question for you, when you do the head tilt, before you do the breathe,
Mhm.
don't you do the fingers like this to make sure there's no obstruction? Because you don't want to end
No.
up going in an obstruction. You don't do that anymore?
No, yeah, absolutely, you don't do that, okay? I think you are probably trying to remember the, choking, you're trying to have something who's choking,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which I will go into in the
That's the
afternoon.
honey people.
Okay? Yeah, I will go into the afternoon, but, right now I'm just teaching you strictly CPR, which is when the person is in cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest, yeah, you don't worry about choking, yeah.
Well,
It's actually a different, actually, thanks for asking. You have to make the distinction between somebody who's in cardiac arrest and choking. Because I've taught enough students to know, like the paramedics, the registrars, nurse, they know. But level C, which is you guys, I find that a lot of people are confused. When they're helping somebody who's choking, they think they're doing CPR. When they're doing CPR, they think they're helping somebody who's choking.
Totally.
Yeah, when I teach my class, I make the distinction exactly for that reason. Because if you're doing CPR for somebody, absolutely no need to waste time looking for the mouth trying to get food out. It's completely waste of time. And if you're helping somebody who is choking, okay, you absolutely need to look into the mouth, otherwise you're not helping them. I will go into detail.
In my opinion, choking, in choke, when a person is choked, he doesn't go up unconscious.
Oh, yeah, well.
Okay,
Yeah.
so-
And people see it themselves.
Yeah, but when you see it, but when you find somebody lying on the floor, you don't know if he was choking or heart attack or something. You don't know what happened. You are getting in or somebody's on the floor. You really don't know.
So Jerry brought up a very, very good point, okay? He said, when you find somebody on the ground, it's very, very hard to help them. Because you don't know why. You don't know why he's on the ground. And I can tell you right now, I've been very, very difficult to help somebody if I don't know what's wrong with them. Let's just say I'm walking down the street, all of a sudden I turn the corner, I see someone on the ground. Very, very difficult for me to help them. Because I don't know what's wrong with them. And that's why I need to look for bracelets, look for a necklace, which will tell
Any
me.
allergies or anything?
Exactly, okay. I might even need to go to the person's wallet look for ID cards. Okay? And another thing you can do is bring out their phone. Okay, so you can bring out their phone, and all you need to do is press the power button. And some people, they carry apps now. As soon as you press the power button, you don't even need to punch in the password.
Mine
It'll list everything. The medical conditions, the emergency contact, everything you'll see. Okay? So you may need to do that. But if you cannot find any of those things, it's actually very, very difficult to help.
Just 911.
Absolutely. In that case, just call 911, you already help.